All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. Now, we're going to talk about Masvidal and Colby because as of today, we are 2 weeks away from that fight, and I have some questions. I also am going to tell you guys the truth about this matchup, okay? And just an existing truth where there's no questions about it, right? Like, there's no, is this or is this that? Nah, doesn't exist. Not when it comes to this fight, or at least when it comes to the thing I'm going to talk about, okay? And I also just feel like there should be a lot more promotion happening for this fight right now. Like Masvidal's posting some stuff on YouTube. I don't know, like maybe my finger's off the pulse, but I just feel like there's not enough talk about this fight. Like in the MMA community, just like in videos, like in general, right? Like across the YouTube, Instagram, etc. This is an enormous fight, man. Like it's an enormous fight. And I feel like there is much less conversation happening than I would have expected given that it's 2 weeks away. So we're going to talk about all of those things. Now, I am going to this fight, son. I'm going to this fight. So we started this thing, right? Well, we didn't start. Like these people approached us and they were like, hey, what if we put something together where like your viewers can go with you to the fights? And I was like, sounds good to me if I get to go to the fights. So we opened it up. You stay at the same hotel. We're going to hang out before we go to the fights. We sit together at the fights, kick it the whole time. If patterns follow suit, we probably end up friends afterwards because I'm already talking to these guys a bunch. But yeah, and it sold out in like 2 hours. So we were like, oh, wow. All right. So we told them it sold out. They're like, how about 273? So they blocked us off a whole other batch of tickets. And now we're open for 273. Those tickets are in the front row. So the 273 tickets are in the front row. So they're $1,500 each. You'll meet us in Jacksonville at the hotel. I mean, we'll tell you like where Gabrielle and I are staying. We'll meet up before the fights. We'll go to the fights, front row, party afterwards. It'll be a blast. So if you're interested, hit me up. Email me, realjesseonfire@gmail. There's a few left. Like there's, I hadn't even announced it. We already sold through half of them for 273, and I hadn't even announced that we were even doing 273. It was just people who wanted to go to 272, and it was overflow. So if you want to be one of them for 273, hit me up, and we can get it done. I video chat everybody and take the payment so you can see it's me, and and then I get you set up in the Discord and all that stuff. So anyway, if you want to do it, hit me up. But anyway, so like the Masvidal thing in Colby, it's like, well, there's two things, right? So here's the universal truth that you just need to understand, right? Fighting is a mental game. Like it is a as much mental game as it is a physical game, right? You can have someone who goes in there with the most finely tuned skills of all time, right? Absolutely surgically fine tuned in every aspect of their game. And then as they're about to walk out to the octagon, their wife calls them and they're like, listen, man, I've got some bad news. Some really bad news, actually. I've been fucking your best friend for 5 years. And you know what? I like it. And while you're in the octagon tonight, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be fucking his brains out. There's nothing you could do about it either. So I want you thinking about that. So while you're fighting tonight, I want you thinking about me on top of your best friend, having much more fun with him than I've ever had with you. Good luck. And then she's FaceTiming, and so he sees her with the dude. It's like, it's completely not a joke. How do you think that guy's going to fight that night, right? How do you think he's going to fight? He's either going to fight the best he's ever fought in his entire life because he has seething rage, but most likely he's probably going to lose, right? Probably going to lose. Most finely tuned skills possible, right? Has some emotion, some devastating emotional blow right as he's walking out to the octagon. I'm guessing he's not going to win that fight, And he's probably going to lose to an inferior opponent in every way, or could, or would, right? Now, what does that tell you? Is the fight about the skills, or does your emotional and mental state play into it? Who would go out there and win that fight? You know what I mean? So when I try to bet fights, obviously you default to how do their styles match up, which is why everybody thinks that Khamzat Chimaev is going to have an easy time with with Israel Adesanya now, because people saw Robert Whittaker get in there and take Izzy down. And so now people are like, oh my gosh, did you see what Khamzat did to Jack Hermanson in a pure grappling match? Okay, he made him look like he was like doing a different sport. Like Khamzat was his instructor, And it was like, Jack was like, hey, go full throttle on, you know, like where you like sometimes with your like instructor, you're just like, your professor, you're like, hey, just go full throttle on me this time. I just want to see in reality how big the gap is, you know? It's like Hamzat was his like, you know, his professor. It's like, oh man, there's a big gap there. So like, you know, of course you default there, right? How do the styles match up? But if there's like a big emotional component to it, that's where I really like try to make my big decisions is like, okay, so let me think about this. What's their emotional state, whatever. And the thing is with Masvidal and Colby, you know, like to me, this is a dream matchup for a person like me, right? Like a person who likes to try to like read people and kind of, you know, really think things through and obviously analyze whether or not their beef is real because they were best friends and all that stuff. But the reality is like, it's irrelevant. Like if their beef is real or fake is actually not relevant when it comes to what is their, like, how are they going to go into this fight? Like in terms of their mental state. I mean, it's not irrelevant actually. That's actually not true at all. But there are the same kind of factors to consider because if let's say the beef is completely real, right? And they go in there and they're all, you know, yeah, I'm going to get you now. You know, you used to be my best friend and now I hate you. It's like, dude, when you've lived with someone like that, like if you like lived your life with them, trained with them every day, lived with them, they were your best friend. You carried them around like you shared like big moments of your lives together, you know? Because here's the thing, dude, if you're a fighter, your life, I mean, the reason why a lot of guys have such a hard time when they transition into retirement is because, you know, as a fighter, like your life is built around these build up and climax, build up and climax, build up and climax, build up and climax. It's like preparation, event, you know, and then preparation, event. If you ask any fighter how they feel like in the gap between one fight and another fight, or how different it is when they come off a loss versus they come off a win, ask any of them, dude. All of them will tell you that it is a completely night and day difference. You're coming off a win, you know, or you're coming off 4 wins, or you're coming off whatever. And when you're coming off a loss, or you're coming off a few losses, it's like, you know, I don't need to be a professional fighter to know that, man. Like I know that, and so that climax moment when you fight is absolutely enormous. Like it's like. Most people in regular lives can't even understand the implications of that event when you get there. And those guys went through that shit together. Like where, you know, you have like a buddy who's your friend like that, you know, it's like you go on that ride with them, you know, like you train with them every day. You help prepare with them every day, especially if you're living together. You get home and all you're talking about is you're talking about what you did at training. You're talking about what the opponent did in the last 2 fights. Cause you're talking, if it's the other guy fighting, cause you want to help them. Like you feel responsible for helping them. That's your fucking boy, dude. And this much is riding on this thing that he's preparing for and you're helping him prepare. You know, assuming you don't also have a fight, you're thinking about what can I do to help this fucking guy, you know? And you live this journey together. You know, you live it together. And then when they win and they fucking run over to you and you're like, what's up? You guys won together. You pick them up and fucking carry them around like those two guys had. Like that's a real bond there. Like that's like, some people might not even understand what I'm saying, but a lot of people will. And it's like to have someone who's your boy like that, where you go through it like that on both sides. Or when you lose, dude, even more so. And your guy is is bummed. He's like, he's fucking carrying you around emotionally, you know, like picking you up. Your friend like that, like knows when to tell you it's going to be better and when to shut the fuck up and just put his hand on your back. Like that kind of shit. You go through that with someone, that shit doesn't wash off, man. Like that's the thing. And I don't care. Fucking, I don't care. I don't believe the beef. Okay. I'm just like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it fucking at all. And it's because of that, just for the record. Okay. That's why I don't believe it. But nonetheless, the reason I I might be giving my viewers too much credit. That's the thing I realize, because I see Chael pumping the beef and I see other people pumping the beef, and I'm like, you know, again, I have no idea. Like, I have absolutely no idea. This is just my hypothesis. And it's based on my own experience. Like, if I went through that with one of my friends, there is a 0% chance there would ever be a beef. But that doesn't mean that there's not with them. And again, maybe, because I don't think that I'm undercutting them when I say that publicly. Like, to me, I don't think not only do I not think I'm undercutting them, I think that, like, if you see the world like me, it's like, that makes the fight even bigger, you know? But again, I might be, as I say it again, I feel like maybe I'm giving not my viewers, but just viewers in general, like, too much credit in terms of their emotional intelligence. Because a lot of people are dumb as fuck. And so, like, a dumb person would be like, oh, it's fake. And, like, that makes the fight less interesting, you know? Like, because they're still going to fight. You understand? Like, no matter what the thing, they're going to fucking fight. And, you know, to me, the dynamic is even more interesting if they've been juking it. And now you have two best fucking friends that have gone through it like that, dude. Like, that have gone through it like that. And now they took a paycheck and they're going to fucking fight each other. And they planned that. They fucking planned that together. The same way that they fucking went through the training camps, carried each other around when they won, put your hand on his back when he lost, fucking carried your boy around. The same exact way they planned this. And they took the money, and now they're going to fight each other. And it's like, now you have to take all that, try to put it aside, and fucking fight your best friend in an environment where the whole world thinks you hate each other. Like, to a person like me, that is a fucking dream fight. You'll never get a more interesting fight than that, ever. Ever. So much more interesting than if they actually hate each other. To me. But again, that, you know, if people hear me talk about this and they're like, oh man, dude, you shouldn't have this up, man. Like, you shouldn't be saying that. They're trying to sell a fight. I'm trying to sell the fight. I'm just selling it the way that I see it, because that's what I do on this channel. Like, I'm saying, I'm not saying like, oh, fucking it's bullshit. I'm saying, like, it's fucking better. It's more interesting. They could charge me double and I would pay it. Triple. Well, fuck, I'm going, like we said. But here's the thing. Here's the point that I was going to make, though. Even if it is real, right? Like, even if it is real, the same dynamic applies when you're thinking about the fight. That shit doesn't wash off, man. Like, that kind of bond does not wash off. You can be mad at each other. You can hate each other. You can fucking hate each other. And that shit runs deep. If like a boy like that really like betrayed you to that level, like betrayed you. Let's say it wasn't, he didn't pay his coach, right? Like, let's say he fucked his fiance or something, right? Like something like some real betrayal shit that would make a lot more sense, right? To go from that to this. It's like, even in that scenario where they fucking took your love and trust and just fucking slit its Achilles heel. Like, you had your bond walking around. They just walked up behind it with a razor and slit its Achilles heel. Something like that. Fucked your fiance. So even if it's that, it's like, the reason that humans are these incredibly conflicted animals that are like, is we're capable of incredible selfless actions and genuine love for other people. And we're also capable of horrifying nightmares. And just like, we're a very, very bizarre species, man. But so even in that scenario where someone did that to you and you fucking hate this motherfucker, man. Like, how could a dude that you put that much into do you like that? It's like, it just, you know, I don't know. But the thing is, once you get into the octagon, the same place that you shared those experiences before, where you trained, you fucking talked about your opponent. It's all you fucking did is you guys prepared each other for war. And then you went to war together. And then now you're back in that environment where the most sacred fucking place of your guys' relationship, the culmination of everything you guys worked on together, always happened in the environment that you're now in, and you have to fight each other. Even if you hate each other, that shit does not wash off, dude. So both of them, regardless whether they're faking the beef or whether the beef's 100% real, are carrying in a mountain of fucking loyalty. And the thing is, I can imagine this exactly because I'm wired like they are. And so it's like, that's how I know. It doesn't matter if he fucking hates him or if the whole thing's been fake. There's going to be this thick layer of like, who can get past the fact that underneath this, like, I love this dude. I fucking love this dude. And now I have to like, I need to try to take like the thing that we went through together where, you know, no one understands this better than the other guy, than my boy, what it means if we lose. And I need to go inflict that on him. Like, I'm going to try to inflict that on him. You know, it's fucking nuts, man. It is fucking nuts. It's nuts either way, dude. That's what I'm saying. It's fucking crazy either way. If the beef is fake, it's completely fucking crazy. Like crazy. And if it's fake, I'll tell you right now, I think that would be why they didn't do Ultimate Fighter. I don't think that they were confident that they could keep the fucking act up in the same room over and over and over and over and over and over and over. They're like, dude, it's one thing for us to do individual fucking interviews. Sometimes with, you know, you on the other side of the camera with me laughing, you know, pretending like you're not here. That's something very different than put cameras on us, have a, like, what are we just going to trust? Like, let's say they were juking it. Well, are we just going to trust the whole fucking cast and not say anything? You can't trust these motherfuckers. Juking it the way they've been juking it, or if they were juking it, is easy. That is a whole different fucking ballgame. And then if it's real, again, it doesn't matter. It's the same equation. Because now you're back in the environment where you guys shared your like the ultimate bonding moments that you guys had together happened right where you are right now. You know, you fucked his fiance. That shit happened somewhere else, man. Like, that shit happened somewhere else. You didn't pay his coach. That shit happened somewhere else. What happened here, the only times we've ever been in this environment together have been the fucking deepest bonding moments that any two people can have with each other. And now we need to try to we're going to try to bury each other and take everything from the other guy. It's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. At least it would be for me. Anyway, I'm very happy that I'm going to get to be there and see it in person. And yeah. So anyway, if you want to come to 273 and listen to me fucking yap about shit like this all day long, you can. So $1,500, don't hit me up. Please don't hit me up and just like badger me to see if you want to go, it's $1,500 per ticket. We will facilitate payment. I'll get you all the information, Discord. We can do beforehand, whatever. But like, that's the price. That's what it is. And I only say this because I talk to a million fucking people that are just like, I don't know. Like if I say I'm going to do something, like I really want to do it. If you really want to do it, we'll fucking make it happen. At least, well, if you're one of the people, but we're going to do this for every single event now. So I told those guys yesterday, I was like, dude, this is great. I am very excited. I will be very excited to go to every single event and hang out with my people because I have nothing but awesome people that watch my channel. Anyway, that's what I got. Love you guys. Peace.